What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Land Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Sleds. With me, as always, Mr. Titan, Mike Kessinger. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, how's it going, Kev?
Not too bad.
Rough day today, huh?
Yeah, I had a big basketball game. Didn't go the way we all wanted it to go, but
Well, Michigan proved me wrong. I thought they were a little bit overrated.
yeah, that was my first time seeing them this year, and I
It's
was
because they haven't played much.
pretty
They've
impressed.
been
Yeah, they have
on COVID watch for like forever.
they're what 16-1 now.
15.
I think they've played like 3 or 4 less Big Ten games than Ohio State has.
Yeah, they're 11-1 in the Big Ten. We're 12-5, so we played 17. They played 12, so we
Gotcha.
played five less Big Ten games.
Yeah, so Ohio State came in ranked number 4. Michigan was number
I
3.
don't know if we'll lose that ranking.
Yeah, they might stay the same.
Because we beat Illinois, right? Illinois is 5.
Yep.
So I don't know. And then Houston just lost.
Oh, did they?
They were 6. They lost yesterday, the day before. They lost. Virginia lost to Duke. They was upset by Duke.
Okay.
So with that being said, we lost to the third-ranked team. So it wasn't like we got beat by an unranked team with both Houston and I'm pretty sure Houston, and I know Duke is unranked.
Right.
Beat number 7 Virginia, and then Houston lost. So those two other teams lost. So I think we may be okay. We still should be number 4, if not 5, which should still make us a 1 seed.
Yeah, as long as they win out, though, they should get a number 1 seed.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Like that was our biggest test, I think, coming into the final stretch, and it was a close game. Like it wasn't like they kind of just gave up at the end. In the last 2 minutes, there wasn't as much heart and hustle, so the game was a lot closer than like the final score. They lost by 6.
5, yeah, 92-87 was the final.
Yeah, and that was a turnover from Suing. You know that backwards passing, trying to be fancy.
That was bad.
If that doesn't happen, that's 2 less points we have, so it's a 4-point swing.
Right.
So you know what I mean.
Yeah, so you pretty much had 3 guys doing all the scoring. Dwayne Washington had 30 points. He was 5 of 10 from 3. EJ Liddell is a beast. He had his usual double-double, 23 points, 10 rebounds. He was 3 of 5 from deep as well. And then CJ Walker had 15 points. So the 3 of them had 68 of the 87 points. They didn't get much help elsewhere.
No, and usually they have that one kid that number 10, that white boy.
Yeah, I was just about to mention he was 0 for 2. He took 2 shots.
Like he's pretty lethal from around the arc.
Yeah, he's one of the top 3-point shooters in the country.
And nobody can just get like first 2 shot, be like boom boom automatic.
Right.
It takes some time. Like ask Steph Curry, ask any great shooter. If you're a great shooter, you'll find it. You gotta let him get the shots.
Yep.
Like Washington was just nailing him though. Like that dude was like automatic.
Oh yeah, he's solid.
I was watching with Troy, and the dude with the really long curly, like poofy hair. I nicknamed him Zeke from Michigan. He reminded me of Zeke. And then there was Man Bun. So it was Man Bun and Zeke on Michigan that were just from behind the arc just all day.
Yeah, the one kid was a transfer from, I think it was Harvard.
Yeah, the Ivy League transfer.
Yeah, the little point guard. He's a pretty good shooter.
Yeah. He's just small. He's like what, 6'1"?
Yep. Yeah, he and Seth Towns from Ohio State were teammates at Harvard.
Yeah, and so I don't think he has a future outside of college. I think he's just too small.
Yeah.
I mean, he could, but I don't know. We'll see.
But you look at Kyle Young, Justice Suing, and Justin Arns combined to take only 12 shots between the 3 of them.
Well, when you feed hot hands, like you don't want to take the ball away from a hot hand. And Washington and Liddell were hot hands, like they were just scoring at will. So why? And they like I think if they take away shots for the other guys, do we score as many points? And do we lose it by as few? Like, you know what I mean? Because we can't bat. Like the boards was our biggest thing. We don't have a 7-footer down there to ballot.
Yeah,
that big German tank that was down there.
Yeah, the 7'1" Hunter Dickinson had 22 points, 9 rebounds, and a couple blocks. And they just couldn't handle his height down low. He was getting some offensive rebounds.
I think it was in the beginning. It wasn't that bad. Like they had, I mean, but they let him just bully him and beat him down, pretty much tire him out down low, and they just couldn't compete. But we were talking, they have a 7-footer on the Ohio State bench. I don't know why they didn't put. I understand he's is he a freshman?
He's a sophomore, Diallo, but
not much experience. But like he could at least go down there and battle rebounds with him.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know why that's not an option.
They were overmatched down low for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But Michigan had 9 offensive rebounds. So, I mean, that was a killer. 3 of them on a critical possession. They had 3 offensive rebounds, and that ended up, I think they got a 3 out of that possession.
That one they catch rebound, it was 2 points. It was this
was it 2? Okay.
They'll dump in by the 7-footer.
That's right.
Yeah. Yep, that was.
They've got 3 games left. They're at Michigan State on Thursday. Then they have 2 home games to finish the season. Number 11, Iowa on the 28th, and then number 5, Illinois on March 6th. It's the regular season finale before the
that's going to be
tournament. That'll be
a tough stretch.
Yeah, Illinois will be looking to get a little revenge after we beat them the first time on their home floor. So
we need to win that game.
Yeah, for sure. That's a must win without a doubt.
That has to be a win.
So the NCAA tournament starts up March 18th in Indy. It'll all be in Indianapolis, 6 different locations. And they were approved for 25% capacity for all the games for all the rounds. So that's good. At least there'll be some fans. So hasn't been any for the regular season. So that'll make the experience a little better, obviously.
Yeah. It's just crazy, like how this time last year, everything just went to shit. Like
yeah, so I'm looking forward to it even more this year because it got canceled last year.
Yeah.
It's always one of my favorite events.
Oh yeah, it's good. Like that. The draft and the Masters are really.
And just like we mentioned, it's going to be a little weird this year because Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina are all having off seasons.
Kentucky is 17th. They're ranked 17th, so they're still ranked.
Yeah, they're just not in the top 10 where you usually expect them to be.
They're not top 5 team, powerhouse, like,
right.
The typical blue bullet they are. But Duke and North Carolina may not even make the dance.
That'd be crazy.
Because Duke was only 9. They were 9 of 8. They were 9 and 8 until that win. So now they're 10 and 8, I think. So I mean, 18 games. You're pretty much you're just like 2 games above 500. That's not showing us that you
not
making the cut. Like, so if Coach K doesn't make it, that's gonna be weird. Coach K not making.
Oh yeah, that'd be really weird.
The tournament.
Yeah, we'll see. Cleveland State's having a good year. They might sneak in if they can win the Horizon tournament. I think they're 13-5 overall.
It's my alma mater.
Yeah.
That's where I graduated.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're undefeated football since 1962 or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive. That's the longest streak, I think, in college football. So we'll keep that going every year.
Oh, yeah.
Untouchable. I have a shirt. I literally bought a shirt that said that. So, I think at the student union or whatever. Crazy.
Speaking of shirts, we got our new shirts, courtesy of Vince Fortney. We're sporting them tonight. We'll have those from now on. So thank you, Vince. You need any good cheap shirts? Hit Vince up. He's the man for sure.
We need to get like big ass blankets made for backdrops.
Yeah. So we're still on JJ Watt watch and a few different cities across the NFL.
I'm in that mix. I'm just worried.
From what I heard, he's in no hurry to decide. Free agency doesn't start.
It's his first time ever in free agency. Why would you not?
Yeah, he can take his time right now. And from what I've heard, it's pretty much the Browns, Titans, and Bills is the favorites. There was
the Packers won't pay.
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, they cut a couple guys, Christian Kirksey and one of the offensive linemen, but said one of their beat reporters. I was reading an article he wrote, and he said that they have too many other guys that they have to re-sign and worry about paying. And that they really don't have the money to tie up with JJ Watt, so they're pretty much out. And that's of course his hometown team, but so everybody thought they might be the favorite.
Yep.
But the Bills have kind of snuck in. And
Bills needed like another edge rusher on that team, another defense lineman, and they could be their defense because they have a pretty good defensive backfield, and then their linebackers are, average. They can get another piece up in that front seven. It could be the matter of playoff exit to Super Bowl exit.
Oh yeah. I mean that defense is already solid, and you add a JJ Watt. I mean that just takes to the next level for sure.
Yeah. I saw this funny thing. It says the only thing the Browns need to do Oh, sorry, not the Browns. The only thing the Colts need to do to win the Super Bowl is let Carson Wentz play, get hurt in the playoffs, sign Nick Foles, have Nick Foles play, and then play Tom Brady in the playoffs, and they're automatic Super Bowl winners. Because Nick Foles is obviously Brady's kryptonite. So
Right.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. So so that was some news this past week. The Colts traded two picks,
a third and a second, a third this year, a second next year. But it's a conditional. So if Carson Wentz ends up playing more than 75% of the snaps, and or they make the playoffs with the second round pick turns the first round pick.
Okay.
So I'm hoping he plays 75% of snaps, but they suck.
I'm guessing he will unless he gets hurt.
Because Jacoby Brissett, but he's a free agent too, so they have to re-sign him. Who else he got in there?
Right. I'm sure they're not going to give up those 2 picks for a guy to sit on the bench.
You're going to draft a free agent. I mean, draft a rookie and have a competition after trading for somebody. Like, I don't know.
Right. So
we'll see.
Yeah, I read an article today that said if Browns lose out on Watt, they're going to go after another veteran pass rusher. Von Miller is supposed to be getting cut here shortly by the Broncos. He'd be at the top of the list. Then some other guys that were mentioned, Shaquille Barrett, Bud Dupree, who's probably going to miss part of the start of the season because of the ACL injury.
Shaquille Barrett's going to cost you. Bud Dupree, you probably get at a discounted rate. Von Miller is going to cost you too. He's still going to want a decent 12 to 13 plus million a year contract.
And now
if it's 1 year.
Leonard Williams and I think Hassan Riddick, a couple other guys were mentioned as well.
Yeah, but Leonard Williams wasn't really a edge rusher.
Yeah.
Riddick
had 13 sacks, but 5 of them came in one game.
Yeah. I'm still at 8 sacks.
Yeah.
That's literally half of what Tennessee had as a team. So, I mean, good for you. That's one player, dude. Like, come on. Like, yeah, I wish one of our guys had 8 sacks. That means we probably had mid-20s.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we can't get to the quarterback if we save our life. That's why I'm hoping.
Oh, go ahead.
That's why I'm hoping for. I already come to terms with Tennessee probably not re-signing Jonnu Smith, Corey Davis, and then cutting Humphreys and possibly Malcolm Butler to free up some cap space so we can sign an edge rusher. We can sign we could probably sign a Dory Jackson coming back, and then we have the other Color Fulton. We have Fulton that's in there who was a rookie. That looks good. So I mean, and then probably re-sign Desmond King, and we'd be all right. We'd free up a bunch of space, and we need that pass rusher. We need a Barrett. I'd be okay with signing Riddick, and then we draft one too because we need. I think like I said, the next 2 years draft picks should just be all edge rushers.
Right.
I don't even care if they're good. Just draft them. Hopefully something happens.
And you know what? I'd be okay if the Browns do move on from OBJ and end up trading him. I'd definitely okay with signing Corey Davis.
He'd be a steal for you guys. He'd be a real piece. Like he came in, he just need that was the problem. I think that was his biggest problem in Tennessee his first years. It was a lack of consistency because there was offensive coordinator. You know, right. And then Marcus Mariota wasn't a passing quarterback. Like Ryan Tannehill is in my opinion, a pocket passer first, and then he has the wheels to run, and to make the plays if needed.
Yeah.
He's not like a scramble first, like a Lamar Jackson, a Russell Wilson, a Kyler Murray. But you have a quarterback that can actually get in the ball, and that's why he had an up season this year. I mean, probably bounce back player of the year for Tennessee, without a doubt.
Right.
And came at the right time because of the contract year. But the way you guys spread the ball around, I think he'd be a perfect candidate. Him or Marvin Jones for you guys.
Yeah, I've seen Marvin Jones linked to the Browns as well. So.
I wouldn't even be mad if you guys signed AJ Green. To be honest with you, I think he has another year or two. If you got a fresh start out of Cincinnati, I think it would do wonders for that man. And I think he can probably get you 800 to 900 yards and 6-7 TDs.
Right.
At his age, I'd be, as long as you're not breaking the bank or overpaying for him, I think that'd be great. A great haul.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that as well. So besides J.J. Watt, there's some rumors going around about a possible trade for Stephon Gilmore.
What would you got to give up?
I'm sure it'd be quite a bit. It's not going to be cheap.
You have to get probably a first rounder. Second min.
Yeah.
At least a second, probably a first. Because he was defensive player of the year last year.
Yeah, 2019.
2019, yeah. So, I mean, and he's not, he's 29?
Yeah, I think he's late 20s, 28, 29.
So he has like 2, maybe 3 solid years before he starts to see the decline.
Right.
And he has 2 years left on his contract?
I'm not 100% sure. I believe so, though.
I think it's 2. I think he has 2 years left on his contract. And it's going to be I don't even know the contract, but I'm pretty sure it's north of 12 a year.
That's from what I heard. They're, as far as upgrading linebacker, that's going to be in the draft, free agency and trade route. They're looking defensive end and defensive back. So and I know there aren't many linebackers out there in free agency that are difference makers.
Yeah, right. Harrison Smith as a safety is a free agent. You probably sign him.
Yeah,
you can probably get him or who's the other one? Harrison Smith. I think both their safeties are free agents, sure, aren't they?
No, I think Harris still has one more year, but there's been trade rumors about him as well. Of course, and that goes back to last year. There were rumors about trading for him at the deadline.
Well, he was franchise tag last year.
Yeah, right.
And then Harrison Smith, like the other center or safety. Yeah, I think he's a free agent too. I think both are free agents.
Yeah, they might both be free.
I think both their safeties are free agents this year, to be honest with you. I saw them both. Cavs are losing 62-51.5.
Yeah, to a bad team.
The Thunder.
Yep. So I went on some NFL mock drafts.
Yeah.
I just pulled it up in the Google search, did the top 5 that were on there, and kind of jotted down the Titans and Browns picks. I want to kind of go over those and get your opinions on them, see what you think.
Okay, shoot.
All right, so ProFootballNetwork.com was the first one I went to. They had the Titans taking offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State, and the Browns taking linebacker Zaven Collins out of Tulsa.
The latter is the bet. If you guys can land Zaven Collins at your pick at 20, you guys pick 26th or 24th.
26, I believe.
So if you guys can land Zaven Collins at 26, you guys got I wouldn't say a salad on the sideline, but he can chase down a running back and a quarterback. He can help control. He can help set the edge. He can help contain. And you also got a guy that can rush the passer. And he's pretty much a jack of all trades in Tulsa. He had I think 9.5 sacks last year in Tulsa.
Yeah.
And he's my if he's available in Tennessee picks, I'm okay with him. Tennessee, I want him too.
Yeah.
I think he can play both stand up, linebacker, middle, inside. He can add a weight, play inside. He's a Swiss Army knife for Mike Vrabel. I think would be great. Same with you. Joe Woods could have a field day with him.
Right.
Tennessee taking Tevin Jenkins. I don't know about tackle. We went that route with Isaiah Wilson last year, and he was a mess. I know that's why they're probably looking at it because
that was the reasoning.
He's may not be with the team this year. He might be released. Our offensive line wasn't too bad. They didn't give a lot of sacks. They produced a 2,000-yard rusher. Right. I mean, and that was without Taylor Lewan this last half of the season. He hurt himself.
Right.
So Lewan comes back, and then you move. If we could keep Dennis Kelly for another year or two, move Dennis Kelly to right tackle. I mean, Saffold's there in the middle. I mean, Ben Jones. I mean, our offensive line, I don't think is. We don't need to invest a first-round pick because Isaiah Wilson, especially with Lewan coming back.
Right.
We can just slide the guy that's playing left to right and just go. And you don't fix what's not broken, all right? Isaiah Wilson didn't play, so we don't have to worry about replacing him. It's not like we're losing him in free agency. It's not like Jack Collins leaving again, all right? Nobody's leaving on that line. Actually, we're going to be improved because our starting left tackle, top 10 tackle in the NFL, is coming back. So, I mean, we go edge rusher. I like the guy at Georgia. I like Zaven Collins, and I even like the guy at Texas, OC.
Well, you like Zayvon Collins. Well, the next one up, Walter Football has the Titans taking Zayvon Collins.
I already said what I said about it. I mean, it's a great pick.
And then for the Browns, they've got taken defensive tackle / defensive end Carlos Basham out of Wake Forest. So we definitely need linemen. So
you need linemen, but I think you need more edge than you do center.
Yeah,
because Billings coming back, so you're going to add that guy. All right.
Exactly.
If you don't lose Ogunjobi and you re-sign him, okay, now you have your two starters. I don't think
they're bringing him back.
Okay, well, you still have depth behind Ogunjobi that Billings comes in as your one, and then your other guy you'll rotate out. You need another edge. You need another end. And Basham, I think he fits more in the. You guys run a 4-3, so he fits more a 4-3 defensive tackle mold than a because it's his size, and then end. I think he's more of a 3-4 end, like a Drill Casey. Like they're not huge run stopping tackles, but they're not. He's too big for a defensive end in a 4-3 system, in my opinion.
I think that's the plan, is to sign a veteran like a J.J. Watt or Von Miller or whoever, and then draft a guy in the first or second round.
But Von Miller is more of a stand-up outside linebacker. You're in a 4-3, so Von Miller's not going to be with knuckles on the ground. You can't. It's not as the game.
No, he'll be a stand-up end, I'm guessing, pass rush situations.
Yeah, but you still need a starter there. Von Miller's not going to be an every down player. Not his age. Not in the system you guys run. I don't think he'll fit.
Right.
J.J. Watt could be a knuckle guy down.
Yeah.
He's done it. Clowney. If we don't resign Clowney, he may come.
Yeah, I've seen his name mentioned too, but
he's a run stopper. He's never been, and he's played with J.J. Watt. One of his best years with J.J. Watt. They know each other. I mean, so.
Yeah, if we need a pass rushing end, then Clowney's not the fit.
Well, no, you got Myles Garrett, but this guy Clowney will still garner attention, which will leave up some pressure, and he's gonna help you stop the run too, because that's one of your biggest weaknesses. You guys were kind of spotty against the run.
Right.
So I mean, if you can shore up that, Clowney would be able to help you with that.
Billings will help with that too. I mean, he was supposed to last year, but obviously he opted out.
Yeah, but Billings can't always make it to the edge.
No.
Clowney will help you stop the run on the flat.
Right. If he can stay healthy, that's the issue.
Yeah. Well, he stayed healthy for the most part. Towards the end of the season, he just got bent over.
So NFL.com, they've got the Titans taking edge rusher Jalen Phillips out of Miami, and the Browns edge rusher Joe Tyron from Washington.
I don't know much about Tyron.
I don't either.
Phillips, he's kind of reminds me like that Gregory Rossary dude. He has all the tangibles, but he's still like a project. You know, or how they said Yater Gross, or whatever his name is, from that guy from Penn State last year.
Yeah,
he was he had all the tangibles, all the skill, but we just didn't know if he was going to put it together, and he ended up doing it. So I mean, if that Jalen Phillips can work out, I mean, who knows? This guy, he has the tools, but we just don't know if he can use them. And like I said, Tyron, I have to read up about that guy. I'm not sure about him.
Yeah, I don't either. But the Draft Network, the next one, also had Jalen Phillips going to Miami, or from Miami to the Titans.
You're gonna see a lot of edge Tennessee like that. Offensive tackle is weird because that's not their biggest need. The biggest need is get off the pass, the passer.
Then they had the Browns taking. I'm probably gonna butcher the hell out of this name. Linebacker Jeremiah Owusu Karamau. That's my best guess at it, from Notre Dame.
He's supposed to be one of the top linebackers in the draft, though, too. Like, he's supposed to be a pretty decent linebacker.
Right.
If you watch his game, that dude has a quick first step. He's a hard hitter. He can out there. He can lay the stick. He is susceptible in the pass game, and that's you guys' big foul covering tight ends. Like, he is, in my opinion. Yeah. That's his weakest attribute. So he can work on that. I mean, but you need someone that's helped stop the run, get up the middle, clog the holes, clog the gaps, and situational get to the quarterback. Random inside linebacker blitz, and that would be your guy. So. And
the final one, I had the Sporting News. Another name I'm going to butcher. Titans outside linebacker. Yeah, Aziz Ajulari from Georgia. And the Browns, another Zayvon Collins vote. which
that guy from Georgia, he's another thing. He has the size, he has the speed. They're just not sure if he can put it all together and be productive. He has everything you look for in an edge rusher, outside linebacker in the NFL. That's what I've been reading. Like for quick first step, he's very, very finesseful first move. It's a great swim move. He can bulk up a little bit, but I'm okay with pretty much right now. This is how any outside, like any edge rusher, outside linebacker.
Yeah.
I'm like throw the dice. It can't be any worse than we were last year, rushing the passer. So I mean,
yeah, I'm hoping for Zaven Collins. I'm almost to the point where if we need to trade up a couple spots to get him, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. He'd be like I said, a great gadget player for Joe Woods.
Yep, he's what we need. So spring training opened up. We got baseball coming.
Yeah. We don't have a manager, but we have baseball coming.
we have like part of a manager. So
this dude has gout, staph infection, gastro issues. Like this dude's dying.
He had 3 surgeries in 4 days. Yeah, he had a staph infection. He had gout. Went in, found out he had a staph infection. They had to remove part of the bone of his big toe and put cement in there. And now he's in a walking boot at spring training.
Well, that's not a big deal. Walking boot, whatever.
No. Well, he's finally. He had all kind of gastrointestinal issues last year, and it was a mess. Obviously, Sandy Alomar was the manager for most of the season and the postseason. But Tito's back. We'll see if he can stay healthy this year. Brought in one of his old relievers in Brian Shaw.
We signed Brian Shaw.
Yeah, we signed to a minor league contract.
I know he did a Prez.
Yeah, so Shaw said that he spent last year with the Mariners, but was in their minor league camp for most of the season. And he said during that time, he was able to kind of reinvent himself, came up with some new pitches. And he said he thinks he's going to surprise some people this year. He's got some new weapons to his arsenal that he's not going to unveil for a little while. But he said he's kind of reinvented himself as a pitcher, and he thinks he can come in and help the Indians and be a contributor again. And he's only 33, 34 years old. So I know towards the end there with the Indians, he was getting lit up pretty good. And then, of course, he goes to Colorado, and we all know what happened there. Yeah. I mean, that's a bad place for pitchers in general, let alone guys who are struggling.
Yep. He put what? Did he put like 40 home runs or something like that last?
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Of course, first time around here, Tito kind of overused him. So hopefully this time around, he'll if he does make the team, he'll won't use him quite as much, and he'll be a little more effective.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the story was he was. I guess he stayed in touch with Tito since he's left the Indians. I guess they have a pretty good relationship. And the story was, I guess Tito called him and he was about to sign with another team. He said, "Hey, hold off. Antonetti and Chernoff are going to be contacting you in a couple of days." And then that's what happened. So I'm guessing the other deal he had was a minor league deal with another team, but ended up coming back to Cleveland. Hopefully it works out. I know there's a couple spots open in the bullpen.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward to baseball. I guess they're going to have some fans in some capacity. From what I heard, it would be the same percentage the Browns were allowed to have.
10%?
Yeah, something like that. So I guess better than nothing, I guess, to start. I'm sure things continue to get better. That'll increase as the season goes on. But you see the Blue Jays can't even play in Toronto this year, at least not for the first couple months or so. They're playing in Florida, all their home games, because they can't get across the border because of COVID restrictions. So they'll be playing in Florida. Kind of sucks for their fans. I mean, not that any can attend anyways, but Cavs are coming back.
Are they?
Yeah, 68-62.
Oh man, don't win. Just just suck for.
It's almost
a better draft pick, man. It's like
it's almost tankathon time.
It really is. Like they're not getting it. Like it's just weird how bad, like how good they were playing. They were playing really solid basketball in the first 12 20 games a season.
Yeah, they were 500 after 20 games. Well, a lot of that too was Andre Drummond. I mean, he was playing, he was motivated, and as soon as they made the Jared Allen deal, he kind of seen the writing on the wall and knew he was out of here. So kind of zapped his motivation. Then they tried playing the two together, and that was pretty much a disaster. But
yeah,
they're still trying to work a deal for him. It's tough because that big salary the Cavs are going to have to take back. I think they have to take back 25 million or 23 million in salary. And they don't want to tie up their cap space. And at the same time, teams know that if this goes on and nobody trades for him, that they're probably going to buy him out so they can end up signing him as a free agent. So it's kind of a tricky situation for Kobe Altman, but I mean, it sucks for Drummond that he's not playing right now, but I guess they've made the practice facility open to him anytime he wants to work out and stay in shape.
You heard that you're talking about Drummond, not Drummond, that Draymond. You hear that Draymond Green hits you fit?
Yeah, I did.
It's it's a business, all right. The Cavs. You're sorry to say it. You're a human. You are a person, but you're also business property to an extent. You are an asset, business assets. Let's not say property. Your business assets, all right? And assets are moved at periods of time in business, at day-to-day business. If a business sees that they can better the business, make the business more profitable, more productive, they're going to move certain assets and acquire certain assets to help that out. I don't care how it hurts your feelings because you're people and you got to protect them. What do you mean how protect them? He's like, you got to start protecting the players. So telling them we don't want you to play so you don't get hurt.
Well, it was also a mutual agreement. I mean, Drummond and his agent agreed to this along with the Cavs management. It was a mutual agreement.
Yeah.
Not like they went to him and said, hey, you're not playing anymore until we trade you, until we release you, whatever. It was a mutual agreement.
So why would you, as Drummond, why would you want to risk hurting yourself playing for a team that don't plan on keeping you when you can stay healthy
and go to a contender,
get traded and go to a contender and actually go there and play and have a chance to, win and contend. So why, if me, they're like, hey, we're not gonna play you no more. We're trying to move you, blah blah. And I'd be like, all right, whatever. All right.
I just consider the source with Draymond.
He's such a baby, and then LeBron even backed it too. And like. Look, I have all respect in the world for what LeBron has done for the NBA and certain things he's done in the community but I think he has your assets. Like, all right, you guys aren't untouchable.
Right.
They're not. I could trade whoever I want, whenever I want, however I want. If I want to trade you to, I don't even care. Like, who's the Cavs, but who's the second suckiest team in the NBA right now? Like what though?
No, the Pistons.
Rockets.
The
Pistons. If I wanted to trade Giannis to the Pistons right now for 3 bags of corn and a flour tortilla, I will.
Well, the Pistons.
It's my prerogative.
Pistons are doing the same thing with Blake Griffin.
Yeah, they're gonna shop him.
They're sending him, and then maybe this is because of what Draymond said. But did you hear the DeMarcus Cousins thing with Houston? They're going to
go younger.
They're going to move on from him, but he's still playing while they look to move on from him, or while they work out a buyout.
These team owners and GMs they let these players control the NBA. All right, I'm probably on the minority in this argument, but it's a business first. This is a business. It's not a sport. All right. It's a business. We look at it, you and me, as sports fans, podcast doers. We look at it as a sport, right? We don't look at it as the business aspect, right? We look at it as my favorite team. Are they playing good? They're winning. Who are we gonna get? Whatever.
Right.
GMs and owners look at it as a business. As the owner goes, how much money can I make? The GM goes, how much talent can I get without going over this amount of money? All right. What can I do in my parameters to make this the best team I have? It's a business, and you look at business mindset. So when you get butthurt because you get traded or whatever, I'm sorry, this is what I got to work with. This is what I'm doing.
Right.
You don't own this team. It's not your team. Buy a team and then give everybody everything, and then let's see how good that team is. Let me know. All right, let me know. Because as soon as LeBron James buys the damn team, he's going to have to make the decisions too.
Right.
And he's going to do what's going to be best for his team because now this is his. He's invested in this. It's his livelihood now. He's no longer playing the game. He's running the game. All right? He's now running a team in this game. One of 30 teams he's running. He's going to see it a lot different now. And he's going to have a change of – he's going to be like, oh, they were right. I can't get everybody and pay everybody. I got to move things around. It's just so ridiculous that they think all these prima donnas that think they are, it's me or nothing. Bye. Right. I have a business to run. I would love to keep you. Don't get me wrong. I would love to keep you, but I can't afford you right now. It's like the Dolans. They choose not to spend, but I can't say it's like the Dolans, but it's just like Gilbert. Gilbert, he went out and was how many millions and millions above the luxury tax?
Yeah.
For years to put everything in pieces for LeBron James?
Right.
Sooner or later, that's going to come and bite you in the ass.
Yeah, it does. As soon as he leaves, then you're screwed for the next 4 or 5 years. Because
you're way over luxury tax unless you cut everybody. And when you cut everybody to get under luxury tax, you now have no talent on that team.
Yeah. They're in a little better shape this time around than they were the first time.
Because they have their draft picks. They didn't.
First time around, they had no draft picks, and they were stuck with old veterans who nobody wanted.
Antoine Jameson.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't even remember.
But J.J. Hickson was there. He wasn't old, but he was there. But
Mo Williams.
Was he still there?
I think he was. That was so long.
Wasn't Z there still?
No, I think because they traded Z. Well, they traded him and got him back, and then.
Oh, that was that. Then that rule got put in place.
Yeah, that was traded him to Washington. They cut him and then re-signed him, and that was the last time that happened. And they put that. Rule.
they're like, no, we see what you did there.
Yep.
Stop it. They had to re-sign him at a cheaper rate.
That was the 2010 season. We had Shaq. Shaq was the starter, and then Z was the backup.
Old ass Shaq and old ass Z.
Yep.
Talk about basketball. Like we were looking at these NBA mock drafts, and you and me were dumbfounded that we could not find EJ Liddell on a single mock draft.
That doesn't make any sense.
Like
he's one of the top.
He might not be a lottery pick then, but like he should at least be a first round pick, like bottom half first round, and at the very, very least a second round pick. And we couldn't find him anywhere.
I mean, that kid saw he's a beast down low, and now he's added the 3-point shot.
Yeah, like if this dude shot like what 50% today.
Yeah, he was 3 of 5.
I was over 50%. He shot 66%.
And I think he made 4 or 5 the game before that. So. Yeah, I'm dumbfounded to see that he's not even listed as a second round pick.
So I'm at tankathon.com, right?
Yeah.
At number 3, they have Cleveland taking Jalen Suggs, a point guard out of Gonzaga, point guard, shooting guard, 6'4", 205. So he's taller than what we normally have. Could have been another inch taller, but would be nice. But like Jalen Green in the G League, he could have been good, but I'm looking down here. First round, nothing.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that.
Luke Garza goes in the second round.
They're talking about him being National Player of the Year.
Yeah, and he goes in the second round to the Celtics.
Well, if EJ Liddell doesn't get drafted, somebody's going to get a steal as a undrafted free agent for sure.
It's just crazy. Like I don't understand. I don't get it at all. Like I'm not.
If he comes out, I mean, he may stay another year. Who knows?
Maybe that's why they're not projecting him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, he might.
Well, Bleacher Reports like
if they come up just short, he may try to run it back and win a national title next year.
We gotta get a 7-footer because Lurch from Germany's is gonna be in our way again.
Yeah, I got to give props to Michigan as much as I hate to. They're a lot better than I thought they were.
But See, they didn't beat us up down low until the end. All right.
Yeah. First half, it was 3-point shooting. They were 10 of 13.
And we can't guard the three. We can't guard the perimeter. We make the adjustment in the second half, which is a little bit too late. All right. If we can make that adjustment within the first half of the first half, you know.
Yeah.
Because they weren't shooting them as freely and as efficient in the second half as they were in the first.
No.
They're still making them. I mean, we didn't shut it down completely, but we limited it vastly. So if he can do that earlier on, I mean, it'd be great. But
yeah, they were 10 of 13 from 3 in the first half, and Ohio State was only down 2 at the half. So
yeah.
But yeah, they got beat up by the big dude in the second half for sure.
Yeah. But if we would have, controlled the perimeter a little bit in the first half, we could have been up.
Yeah.
Going into halftime.
Yeah, it was a good fun game though.
It was a great game. Great game. Me ordered pizza and wings. Me and Buddy watched the game, and we were just some of the moves Washington was making in the post with those layups and the finger rolls. Man,
yeah,
he's not even projected to go. I didn't see him at all either.
No, yeah. When he was a freshman, I knew he was a good shooter, but I never imagined him turning into what he is now. He's really developed his game.
Yeah, he's looking sharp. So hopefully we can return some of the, all of them. Hopefully all of them to come back.
Yeah,
they
should be a number 1 seed and hopefully a nice deep tournament run. I mean, they're definitely one of the candidates to win the national title. So we may see Michigan again in the tournament.
Maybe. Hopefully they get knocked out before we see them.
Yeah.
Them, Iowa.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Big Ten teams this year.
Big Ten's the number 1 conference in the NCAA.
They're littered throughout the top 25.
We have 3 in the top 5. 3, 4, and 5 are all Big Ten.
Yep.
It's crazy.
It's top conference in
today, this game against Michigan was the first time in NCAA history, in the sports history between Michigan and Ohio State, that they both met as a top 5 team.
Oh, wow.
First time ever that these two met in basketball as a top 5 team.
Damn.
They're both a top 5 team. Like one's been top 5, one hasn't, know. But the first time they both were top 5 and met, I was like, damn, I didn't realize that. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah, I don't remember a year where they were both elite teams the same season. This is definitely the first year.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything else? I think I'm tapped out.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I got nothing. I'm still trying to find Liddell in a single mock draft. But,
yeah, that still blows me away. But hey, we'll see. If
he does a 2020 draftroom.com does a 2023 mock draft for NBA.
2023.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's stupid. Who's gonna?
That'd be Bronny James.
Would it?
Yeah, because I think isn't he a sophomore this year? I think he's got 2 more years.
In high school.
Yeah. Well, they said by the time they're going to end up making it a rule where high schoolers can come right out again. They said that's coming in the next year or 2. Yeah. they'll end up doing that before he comes out.
Just so he could play with his daddy.
Yeah, probably.
So stupid.
I think Dwayne Wade's son is his teammate, so that they'll both come out together.
See which one. That was gonna be like... But all right.
Well, I guess that's it for this week. We will be back next week, same time, same place. Everybody have themselves a good week.
Yeah, you know I put it down for. I rep my state, my hood, my side of town in. King of this shit, that's why I wear my crown in. So don't come around Cleveland, that bitch I from. Tatted it on my arm, you know I'm reppin'. Bitch, where I'm from, you wanna